Alright guys, so what we saw in the last video is that Excel already comes with a bunch of cool built-in functions. Now one thing I want to point out is whenever you're using these built-in functions, there are a couple of different ways that you actually use them. In other words, some functions, they require a range of data or a range of cells in order to work. Other functions, they only require one cell or one piece of information. So let's go ahead and look at something like sqrt. This is the square root, and you can either type in one number right like that, and of course the square root of 144 is 12, or instead of 144 you can click a cell right here and it'll work just fine. But what you can't do is you can't throw in a range of numbers for square root, since it's like, how am I supposed to square root several numbers? So that's why we get an error. Of course, anytime you see a hashtag instead of an expected number, that means that you did something wrong. In this case, we're using a range of numbers other than just one cell or one value. So that's the difference between functions that take, and by the way, I probably shouldn't mention this, equals SQ. The thing in between the parentheses is called an argument. So if I kind of was mentioning argument in the last tutorial and you guys are like, argument, what the heck's that? It means the extra data that your function needs in order to work. So some arguments are a list of cells or a range, and some arguments are just one cell or one number. So now that I talked to you guys about kind of the built-in functions that come with Excel and how they work, I also want to mention this. Anytime you want to use a function that's built in, but you don't, someone's texting me. I'll show you guys. Let me just go ahead and read this. Alright, one of my friends talking about drinking and gambling with police officers. Alright, so there's a lot of built-in functions already included in Excel, and we of course don't know the names of them off the top of our head. I mean, some do that you're going to use a lot, but most of them you don't. So anytime you want to find one, what you can do is you can go up here and click on this little icon, and this is actually the for function dialog box that pops up, and you can either scroll for the most commonly used ones, or you can select the category. So I don't know, maybe when we talk about text functions later on, you can do that. So again, that's this button right here. Another thing is if you go to the formulas tab and scroll over here to insert function, it gives you the same dialog box, but maybe, I don't know, if you like using the formulas ribbon a little bit more. And the last thing, if you're kind of a keyboard person, if you hold down shift and hit F3, then they all do the same thing. So again, this little button right here in the formulas tab, this, or shift and F3, all bring up the functions. It's kind of a master list of all the functions that are included in Excel. And if you click on it, of course it gives you a nice little description of what it does. So this one, ABS, returns the absolute value of the number. Simple enough. So let me go ahead and clear out everything, because now I want to talk to you guys about something that's probably going to make you cream your pants, and that is this. So open up Bucky Store right here, and to the right of price, add a new column, and we'll just call it like total value, and hit enter. And let me just adjust this. So we'll say that we wanted to set this cell right here equal to the total value of this item. So as you can see, this is pretty much if I had a fake store, these are the items I would be selling. This is how many of each item I have in stock, and this is the price of that item. So I have 23 bread gloves in stock, and they're selling for $23 each. How ironic. So the total value of this, of course, we already know how to do this. Pretty simple. Set it equal to the quantity multiplied by the price. So I have $529 worth of bread gloves in stock. Now, of course, we can go ahead and do it equals, and let me just do this. Okay, before multiply. Okay, that's taken a long time. So I'll show you guys something really cool. If you click on this equation right here and click on your fill handle in the bottom right corner of the cell and drag down, check out what happens. You may be expecting, and by the way, that's another thing. Whenever you see a bunch of hashtags, that means your column's not wide enough. So you may be expecting 529 to be copied down a bunch of times, just like if you were to type 3, it were to copy like that. But instead, what you're seeing is these different values. And these values right here are actually the perfect answer that we were looking for. So what it does, whenever you fill in a formula, is it doesn't fill in the absolute value. Because you're not copying the value, you're actually copying the formula. Now since you referenced cells, instead of giving it the number 23, what it does is it automatically detects, okay, what you're doing is you're multiplying this cell, 2 left, to this cell, 1 to the left, together. So this one, you must try to be multiplying these together, and check it out. So Excel does an awesome job, better than any spreadsheet program on earth, at pretty much acting smart and detecting exactly what you want to do. So check out this. I have $21,000 worth of laptops. Sweet. Gotta make some bank off that. But anyways, with this power actually comes some problems, and well, I guess I don't have enough time to tell you about it, but in the next tutorial, I'll show you guys the problems that might occur whenever you try to fill in a bunch of empty data using a formula. And I'll also show you guys how to correct that problem too, so you guys are going to be pros, experts. You'll be freaking sweet, good to go. But for now, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. If you have any questions, or if you want to see, if you have any concepts that you want me to cover, then go ahead and send me a message on my website, or just leave a request in the forum, and I'll make sure to cover those topics as well, because I know that there's a lot of stuff in Excel that we have to cover. So thank you again, and well, I'll shut up now. I'll see you next time.